নমস্কাৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকল হেল্ল' বায়োলজি আসাম ইউটিউব চেনেললৈ তোমালোকক স্বাগতম জনাইছোঁ। আজি এই ভিডিঅ'টো প্লেন কিংডমৰ ওপৰত বনোৱা হৈছে। তোমালোকে ভিডিঅ'টো স্কিপ নকৰাকৈ শেষলৈকে চাবা। ব'লা আমি ভিডিঅ'টো আৰম্ভ কৰোঁ। প্লেন কিংডম ক্লাছিফিকেশ্যন। Number 1, artificial system of classification. This system of classification used superficial morphological characters based on habit, color, number, and shape of leaves, mainly based on vegetative characters or on the androecium structure. Artificial system of classification developed by Linnaeus. Next, natural classification system. This system, based on natural affinities among the organisms, included not only external as well as internal features like anatomy, embryology, and phytochemistry. This classification was given by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. Phylogenetic classification system. This system, based on evolutionary relationship between the various organisms. Organisms belongs to the same taxa have a common ancestor. This system given by Hutchinson. Numerical taxonomy. This taxonomy carried out using computer based on all observable characteristics that are processed after assigning number and codes to all characters. Cytotaxonomy. It is based on cytological information. Gives information like chromosome number, structure, and behavior. Chemotaxonomy. Use the chemical constituents of the plants to resolve confusions. Next, algae. It is chlorophyll-bearing, simple, thalloid, autotrophic, and aquatic, both fresh water and marine water organisms. Habitats: moist stones, soils, and wood. Some of them also occur in association with fungi, for example lichen, and animals, for example sloth bear. Size ranges from colonial forms like volvox to filamentous like Ulothrix and Spirogyra. Fewer marine forms as scalps form massive plant bodies. Reproduction mainly vegetative, asexual, and sexual. Vegetative reproduction by means of fragmentation. Each fragment develops into a thallus. Asexual reproduction mostly by producing motile spores called zoospores. Sexual reproduction takes place through fission of two gametes. Isogamous, both gametes are same in size but flagellated or non-flagellated. Anisogamous, both gametes are dissimilar in size. Oogamous, female gamete is large, non-motile, and male gamete is smaller, motile. Importance of algae. Half of the total carbon dioxide fixation on Earth is carried out by algae through photosynthesis. Increase the level of dissolved oxygen in the environment. Some of algae used as a food, for example Laminaria sargassum. Agar obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria is used in ice creams and jellies and also used to culture bacteria. Algin obtained from brown algae and carrageen from red algae, which are used commercially. Chlorella, a unicellular alga rich in protein used as food supplement by space travelers. There are three main classes of algae. Number 1, Chlorophytes, also called green algae because of pigment chlorophyll A and B. Plant body unicellular, colonial, or filamentous. Usually have a rigid cell wall made of inner layer of cellulose and an outer layer of pectus. Have pyrenoids as the storage body for protein and starch. Vegetative reproduction by fragmentation or by formation of different types of spores. Asexual reproduction by flagellated zoospores produced in zoosporangia. Sexual reproduction: isogamous, anisogamous, or oogamous. For example, Chlamydomonas, volvox, Ulothrix, Spirogyra, and Chara. Number 2, Phaeophyceae, also known as brown algae. and are found in marine habitats. Size: simple branched filamentous forms to profusely branched forms. Possesses chlorophyll A, C, carotenoids, xanthophylls, and fucoxanthin. Food stored as complex carbohydrates in the form of laminarin or mannitol. Vegetative cells have cellulosic wall covered on the outside by a gelatinous coating of algae. Plant body attached to the substratum by means of holdfast, stipe, and frond. Vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction by biflagellate pear-shaped zoospores. Sexual reproduction may be isogamous, anisogamous, or oogamous. Example: Ectocarpus dictyota fucus. Number 3, Rhodophyceae, commonly called red algae due to predominance of red pigment are phycoerythrin in their body with chlorophyll A and D. Occur on surface as well as great depths in oceans. Cell wall made of cellulose, pectin, and polysulfate esters. Food is stored as Floridian starch, similar to amylopectin and glycogen in structure. Vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. Reproduce asexually by non-motile spores and sexually by motile gametes. It is oogamous type. Example: Porphyra, Gracilaria, and Xylidium. Next, Bryophytes. Bryophytes are also called amphibians of the plant kingdom because plants can live in soil but dependent on water for sexual reproduction. It includes mosses and liverworts found in moist, shaded areas in the hills, occur in damp, humid, and shaded places. Lack of true roots, stems, or leaves. Plant body attached to the soil by unicellular or multicellular rhizoids. Main plant body is haploid, produces gametes, hence called a gametophyte. Male sex organ is called antheridium and produces biflagellate anthrozoids. Female sex organ is called archegonium, flask-shaped, and produces single egg. Fertilization takes place in water reserved in formation of zygote. The zygote develops into a multicellular body called sporophyte, remains parasite on female gametophyte. Economic importance of bryophytes. Some mosses provide food for herbaceous and mammals, birds, and other animals. Sphagnum, a moss, provide peat used as fuel and as packing material for transshipment of living material because of their water holding capacity. Mosses form dense mats on soil and reduce the impact of falling rain and prevent soil erosion. Bryophytes are divided into liverworts and mosses. Liverworts usually grow in moist, shady habitats, marshy ground, damp soil, bark of trees, and deep in woods. Plant body is thalloid, for example, Markensia. Asexual reproduction takes place by fragmentation of thalli or by formation of specialized structure called gamete. During sexual reproduction, male and female sex organs are produced on the same or different thalli. The sporophyte is differentiated into food, seta, and capsule. Mosses. Moss gametophyte consists of two stages. First stage is called protonema stage, develops directly from the spore and is creeping, green, branched, and frequently filamentous. Second stage is the leafy stage, develops from the secondary protonema as a lateral bud and consists of upright, slender axis bearing spirally arranged leaves. Vegetative reproduction by fragmentation and budding in the secondary protonema. In sexual reproduction, the sex organs, antheridia and archegonia are produced at the apex of the leafy shoots. After fertilization, the zygote develops into a sporophyte consisting of a food, seta, and capsule. Example: Funaria, polytrichum, and sphagnum. Pteridophytes, first terrestrial plants to possess vascular tissues like xylem and phloem. The main plant body is a sporophyte, which is differentiated into true root, stem, and leaves. Leaves may be small, it is called microphyll, as in Selaginella, or large, called macrophyll, as in ferns. The sporophytes bear sporangia that are subtended by leaf-like appendages called sporophylls. In some cases, sporophylls may form distinct compact structures called strobili or cones. In sporangia, the spore mother cells give rise to spores after meiosis. Spores germinate to form haploid gametophytic structure called prothallus, which is free-living, small, multicellular, and photosynthetic. The prothallus bears antheridia and archegonia, which bear anthrazoids and egg cells respectively, which on fertilization form zygote. Zygote produces a multicellular, well-differentiated sporophyte. Similar kinds of spores, it is called homosporas. Two kinds of spores, macro and micro, it is called heterosporas. Megaspores and microspores germinate and give female and male gametophytes. The female gametophytes are retained on the parent sporophytes for variable periods. The development of the zygotes into young embryos takes place within the female gametophytes. This event is a precursor to the seed habit, considered an important step in evolution. Pteridophytes further classified into 4 classes. Coelopsida, for example, Coelotum; Lycopsida, example, Selaginella; Sphenopsida, example, Equisetum; and Pteropsida, example, Pteris. Gymnosperms have naked seed, as the ovules are not enclosed by any ovary wall and remain exposed both before and after fertilization. It includes medium-sized trees or tall trees and shrubs. Generally, roots are taproots. Some genera have fungal association in the form of mycorrhiza, for example, Pinus, while some others, for example, Cycas, small specialized roots called coralloid roots are associated with nitrogen-fixing cyanobacteria. Stems are branched or unbranched. Leaves may be simple or compound. In conifers, needle-like leaves reduce the surface area. Their thick cuticle and sunken stomata also help to reduce water loss. Gymnosperms are heterosporous, produce haploid microspores and megaspores. The strobili bearing microsporophylls and microsporangia are called microsporangiate or male strobili, which later develop into reduced gametophyte called pollen grains. Female cone or strobili has megasporophylls, which bear megasporangia having megaspores which are enclosed within the megasporangium. One megaspore develops into female gametophyte bearing 2 or more archegonia. Pollen grains carried in air currents and come in contact with the opening of the ovules borne on megasporophylls. The pollen tube carrying the male gametophytes grows towards archegonia in the ovules and discharges their contents near the mouth of the archegonia. After fertilization, zygote develops into an embryo and the ovules into seeds which are not covered. Angiosperms, flowering plants and have seeds enclosed with fruits, divided into 2 classes, dicotyledons and monocotyledons. Smallest angiosperms, Wolffia; largest angiosperms, Eucalyptus. গতিকে ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকল, আশা কৰোঁ এই ভিডিঅ'টো চাই তোমালোকে নিশ্চয় উপকৃত হ'বা। ইয়াত মই প্লেন কিংডমৰ গোটেই টপিকটো মই পইণ্টছ হিচাপত দেখাইছোঁ। তোমালোকে ভালকৈ পঢ়িলে গোটেইখিনি মনত থাকি যাব। গতিকে ভিডিঅ'টো যদি চাই ভাল পোৱা তেন্তে লাইক, শ্বেয়াৰ আৰু চেনেলটো ছাবস্ক্ৰাইব কৰি দিবা। ধন্যবাদ।